Hello friends, I'm Kauravas. Welcome to channel Mahabalak, where you can watch entertaining and inspiring stories.
Hello, Earthlings, I'm Time.
Mr. Time, in the last episode we saw how the Kauravas and Pandavas displayed their fighting skills in the arena prepared by Guru Dronacharya. How Bhim and Duryodhan excited and agitated the crowd with their fighting skills and their strength. How Arjun impressed everyone with his archery. The tournament was almost over, and the audience were starting to get up to go. Just then, the sound of slapping of arms was heard near the gate.
In those days, slapping of arms was a display of power and strength.
People wondered who was daring to slap arms in an arena where the Kuru princes were displaying their skills with weapons. Dronacharya and the five Pandavas stood up. Ashwathama, Duryodhan, and his brothers also stood up ready to fight. The spectators made way, and Karna entered the large arena. The little boy whom Kunti had abandoned at birth had grown up into a handsome young man. In his natural golden body armor, he shone like a golden palm tree. He looked all around the arena. He bowed to Drona and Kripa without much respect, and then addressed Arjun. O Parth, do not be too amazed at what you have done. Before the eyes of these people, I shall display acts which will surpass everything that you have done.
Arjun was called Parth because he was the son of Kunti, who was also known as Pritha.
On hearing Karn's words, all the audience stood up in excitement. Duryodhan was overjoyed, while Arjun was filled with anger and shame. With Drona's permission, Karna exhibited everything that Arjun had displayed before. Duryodhan and his brothers were very pleased with this. Duryodhan said, O mighty armed hero, welcome. Good fortune has brought you here. You know how to humble pride. I and the Kuru kingdom await your pleasure. Karna said, You have said it and that is enough. I only desire your friendship and I wish to have a duel with Arjun. Duryodhan said, Enjoy all the pleasures with me. Place your feet on the heads of all your enemies. Mr. Time, what did it mean to place one's feet on the heads of one's enemies?
This was a common insult in those days. The Pandavas never spoke against Duryodhan, but he never spared any efforts to insult them.
Arjun said, O Karn, when I have finished killing you, you will attain the worlds set aside for unwelcome intruders and uninvited speakers. Karn said, O Falguni, this arena is meant for everyone, not just for you. Dharma is that of strength, and those are kings who are superior in valor. Altercation is nothing but a resort of the weak. Why use it? Speak with arrows until my arrow carries off your head in the presence of your Guru.
Arjun was also called Falguni because he was born in the month of Falgun, which falls in February March.
Arjun was a true Kshatriya. He accepted Karna's challenge to fight. He was embraced by his brothers. With Dronacharya's permission, he advanced to fight. Karna was embraced by Duryodhan and his brothers. He too stood ready to battle. Dronacharya, Kripacharya, and Bhishma stood with Arjun, while Duryodhan and his brothers stood with Karna.
The fathers of the two fighters, Indra and Surya, were watching the contest from the sky in the form of clouds and sun.
The spectators were again divided into two groups, one favoring Arjun and the other favoring Karna. Kunti recognized Karna as her son. She was unable to say anything, but fainted due to anxiety. Vidur revived her, by sprinkling water over her. When Arjun and Karna had indicated their readiness to fight by raising their bows, Kripacharya advanced. He was an expert in the rules of fighting. He said, Arjun is the son of Kunti and Pandu. He belongs to the Kuru dynasty and he will fight with you. O mighty armed hero, you should also tell us about your mother, father, lineage, and the royal dynasty of which you are the ornament. On knowing this, Parth will decide whether to fight you or not. At these words, Karna's face flushed with shame. Duryodhan said, Gurudev, it has been stated in the sacred texts that there are three ways to become a king: through noble birth, through valor, and by leading an army. If Arjun is unwilling to fight someone who is not a king, I coronate Karna as the king of Ang. Saying this, he took off his crown and put it on Karna's head and coronated him as the king of Ang. The spectators raised cries of victory. When the arena was quiet again, Karna said, What can I give you that is comparable to this gift of kingdom that you have given me? Tell me, and I shall do your bidding. Duryodhan said, I only desire your eternal friendship. Karna said, So shall it be. Duryodhan and Karna embraced in joy, and thus began their never-ending friendship. Karna's foster father Adhirath entered the arena. He was weak and walked with the help of a stick. His clothes were in a disarray, and he was perspiring and trembling. On seeing him, Karna discarded his bow and paid his respects by bowing his head. Adhirath addressed Karna as his son and wet his hair with his tears. When Bhim saw this, he understood that Karna was the son of a charioteer. Bhim said, O son of a charioteer, you have no right to be killed by Parth in battle. You had better take up a whip more befitting of your lineage. O worst of men, you do not have any right to enjoy the kingdom of Ang, just as a dog has no right to enjoy the cake that is offered in a yajna.
Caste is nonsense.
At these words, Karna's lips quivered a little, but he did not say anything. Duryodhan, however, did not keep quiet. He rose angrily and said, O Bhim, you should not speak these words. Strength is the most important virtue of Kshatriyas, and even the most inferior of Kshatriyas deserve to be fought with. The sources of warriors and rivers are both the same, they are always unknown. Can a deer give birth to this tiger equal to the sun with his natural armor and earrings? He deserves to be the lord not just of Ang, but of the entire world through his valor and through my obedience to him. If there is any man in this arena to whom my action seems condemnable, let him pick up his bow and fight. At these words, a loud cheer went up from the spectators. At the same time, the sun set. Duryodhan grasped Karna by the hand and led him out of the arena. With Bhishma, Dronacharya, and Kripacharya, the Pandavas also returned back. As the spectators were going back, some praised Arjun while some praised Karna. Kunti was happy and relieved. Arjun and his brothers were worried. Duryodhan was ecstatic. He had at last found someone who could dare to fight Arjun.